A lot of people hit the gym thinking chest and arms are enough, but there's one key muscle group that actually makes your physique stand out, and most professionals completely overlook it. In this video, I'm going to teach you my top 5 favorite shoulder exercises that have helped my clients grow their delts as well as myself. And I think they'll do the exact same thing for you. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Devin. I'm a certified personal trainer and strength coach with a master's in exercise science, and I help busy professionals train from all over the world to get their ideal physique with little to no equipment. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. Without further ado, let's jump into exercise number 1. So I'm going to be showing you 5 different exercises. Now, only 2 of those are not working the lateral delt. One is going to be working the front delt, one is going to be working the rear delt, but the other 3 are going to be really hitting the side or lateral delt. And why is that? It's because usually when you're doing a lot of pressing motions like bench press, overhead press, that sort of stuff, you're already going to be working a lot on the front delt. Whenever you're doing a lot of rowing motions, you're going to be working a lot of the back delt. So you're already getting a lot of work in there. And there's not a lot of things, compound movements and stuff that really hit the lateral delt so much. So that really needs a lot of extra attention. So that's why we're going to hit a lot more lateral delt exercises than the other exercises. All of these will really help you build a full, well-rounded delt and shoulders, which will ultimately lead to a better V taper, which is kind of that more aesthetic style look. So the first exercise up is going to be known as the dumbbell incline lateral raise. Now you could simply just stand here and do a lateral raise, and this is an excellent workout as well. This definitely works. I recommend it if you don't have a bench. If you do though, what it's going to look like is I'm going to have it at just a slight incline like that. I could be slightly up more too, or back more, but I kind of like it somewhere around here. And then from here, what I'm going to do is simply do a lateral raise just like this. Now, one of the reasons this works so well is because I'm really just focused on using my shoulders, and I can't use a lot of body momentum like I could if I were standing up. Also, they come down behind me, which means they get a really good stretch. And then you'll notice too, one of my favorite tips with this is to not actually come straight up to the side, because for me at least, that kind of like puts a little bit of pressure that's unnecessary on my shoulder joint or my elbows as well. So what I do is I almost come up at like a Y kind of shape. And a lot of people actually call these Y raises, but I like to still call them dumbbell lateral raises. And what you'll feel is like just a really intense burn right there in the lateral delt. So if I had to point to exactly where I'm feeling it, it's right there. So that's where you should be feeling it whenever you do these. So that's the first exercise. The second exercise is the exact same setup, and you could do this standing up as well, but I prefer it like this, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. This exercise is known as the dumbbell incline front raise. So instead of lateral raise, front raise. And this is going to be the one exercise that we learn for your front delt right here. Now what that looks like is I'm back here. I have good posture, so I'm not slouched or anything like that. I have my chest up, I have a little arch in my back, my arms are behind me, so because they're behind me, I'm already getting a good stretch in that front delt. And then from there, I'm raising up, I'm supinating to my hands, which means my palms are facing more of the ceiling, and then I come back down. And whenever I do this, I'm really focusing on just targeting those front delts right there. And the reason I like to do it right here at a slight incline is because of that extra stretch. So we have the stability already from sitting down and not using any body momentum, but also I'm getting a lot of stretch right here already on that front delt. And remember, the stretch is really good and valuable for the muscle. So you could do this one arm at a time as well to really kind of hyper focus on that front delt. But just a few really solid reps would look something like this. Notice I'm in control of the weight the whole time, have really good control. I'm not coming down like that. My arms aren't swinging. I'm still controlling them, the whole range of motion. Now you can do it where you pronate your hands too, but I found that supinating them really helps to focus more on that front delt. So those are the 2 dumbbell exercises that I have on the list for us, but my favorite are probably going to come in the form of cables, which will be our next exercises. So let's jump over to those. So cable exercises are some of my absolute favorite for really targeting the delt. The reason being because unlike dumbbells where you lose a lot of tension at the bottom of the exercise, cables, you have a good tension throughout the full range of motion. There's always tension. And so we'll start with one of my favorite cable exercises, which is the lateral raise. And I do this behind the back. And the reason is so I can get a good stretch. You'll notice a commonality between all of my training. I really like to stretch the muscle out. Also, if you don't want to do it behind the back and cross them over like this, that's totally fine. You can also do them in front of you. So this is just my favorite for really getting a good stretch. And I can already feel the stretch right here in my delts. So as I come up, it looks just like that. And I'm going to lean forward just slightly. And you can see my delts really working throughout the whole range of motion. This is a lot different than on those dumbbells, which was great too, but they were mostly great at the top. Right here, I feel that tension right there even, just holding them here. And throughout the whole range from the bottom to the top, I can feel them working. Now, if you did want to work on them from the front position, all you'd have to do is turn over just like this, and it's the same deal. You just bring them back and you can raise them up just like that, right? So that kind of hits them from a slightly different angle right there. Now, that is the double arm cable lateral raise from behind the back. Now, one of my other favorite ones is the single arm lateral raise, but starting from a high position. So what we're gonna do is bring this up to somewhere around head height or something like that. And I'm gonna leave that weight right there. And then from here, you could grab it like this, but I have a preference to actually put my hand in here like this. And so what that's gonna look like is I have it crossed over my body, just like this. And it's across my body like that. You can see there's about a 90-degree angle or so. And then from here, what I'm gonna do is just raise it up, just like that. And you'll notice I don't even have to come parallel to the ground with my arm. I'm just right here. It's working through the bottom range of motion. I'm feeling a really good stretch across my body right there with those delts the whole time. That's quite difficult right there. So that's actually probably my favorite lateral raise exercise to really just target that delt. And also, you're not just targeting the lateral delt, but you're also targeting a little bit of the rear delt as well, because it's in front of you and you're almost coming behind yourself. Also, if you have shoulder issues, some people have shoulder issues that limit their range of motion overhead. That is one of the best exercises to do because your shoulders are just down here the whole time. Your whole arm never goes past parallel. So I love that exercise. If you've never tried it out, just make sure to give that a shot. This is flexible. It's just as long as your arm is going up and then out, just like this. And then, like I said, you don't even have to come up to parallel. It's just through that full range of motion right there. So those are the 3 lateral delt exercises and the 1 front delt exercise. But you'll notice we haven't really targeted the rear delt yet. And this is gonna be one of my favorite exercises for utilizing the rear delt. I'm gonna come over on this one. And now, where you place this one doesn't matter so much as long as it's also somewhere overhead, just like that. Now you could also grip this as well, or you could grip it like this. There's lots of different ways to grip these things, but whatever's most comfortable is what works the best. So from here, what I'm gonna do is you can see my arm is crossed over my body. I'm gonna step out to where there's tension. The weight is off the rack right there. So there's already tension. Just right there, I can feel this tension in the rear delt. Now, your rear delts are really important for making your delts really pop from the back, from different angles, like with the side and stuff like that. So this is a really important exercise, and it's hard to hit the rear delt like specifically without hitting them tons of other muscles. But this is one of my favorite exercises for really just targeting just the rear delt without using a lot of your other back musculature. So this is called a cable single arm reverse fly, and it's gonna look like this. Crossed over, coming down just like that. So I'm coming down and back. I'm making almost an arc pattern across my body. Just like that. And I can feel it right in there, right in the rear delt, just really targeting that. And you'll have to play around with it too. If you come too high up whenever you're going across, I don't necessarily like that. It's a little bit difficult on my joint. If I'm coming too far down, I almost feel it more in my lats. So I have to come somewhere right in the middle. And that's when I really feel the rear delt being totally targeted. So just make sure you do it on both arms. Also, you could do it 2 arms at a time. And I guess I'll go ahead and show you that because I've got them almost set up. And what that's going to look like, this is just like better if you want just more efficiency with your time. So it can look something like this. So I like to twist these handles, as you know. So now this is better for efficiency, but you don't quite get the stretch across the body. You still get a little bit of a stretch, which is really good. But from here, I'm in a good power position and I'm getting these really close to being racked, but not quite. And then from there, I do the same thing. I draw them back and out, just like that. You might even be able to see my rear delts flexing or working back there. So that's a really great exercise. And that one's really good too if you want like a 2-for-1 special and you want to hit some of the upper back musculature. So that's my favorite rear delt exercise on top of the other 4 exercises to really help you build bigger, stronger, more stable shoulders. So those were 5 of my favorite exercises to really build your shoulders up and give you more of that V-taper kind of physique, something that looks a little bit more aesthetic overall. So if you enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know in the comments down below, like, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. And if you want a free travel training guide, I have that linked in the description down below that you can check out as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.